Hello and welcome to the Disventure Camp Gen 2 cast ranking. It's pretty obvious what we're going to be doing here today, but if you're a little slow, I've taken all, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 campers, or contestants from Disventure Camp Season 2, and I will be ranking them on this tier list, S to D tier, including both their season 2 showings and their season 3 showings. This will obviously not include fansers favorites, as that is not out, and if any of these characters appear in Tom Jake, which I actually don't know if they do, but if they do, that will also not be counted because I have not watched Tom Jake yet. So yeah, we will start with Aiden. Aiden is an interesting character to talk about because when you look at the season and you look at how prominent Aiden is, especially in season 2. Oh, by the way, this is the beta of season 2, not the new season 2 that's coming out in November. It's August 25th as of recording. So yeah, but you would think he'd be here because he gets so much focus throughout the season. However, Aiden, for me, in season 2, he's a crutch character for James, but not too much on his own. Obviously, you have the Who's Trans storyline where it's revealed to be Aiden, but that doesn't really have a big, overarching thing. And then he lasts a while in All Stars, but with that, he talks to Jake, who, if you watch season 1, you know my opinion on Jake. And outside of that, doesn't really have anything. And in fact, I'd say Aiden is a second Allie, like just a lesser Allie in terms of season 3 development. So I'm gonna put Aiden in B tier because he's not bad. He's just mid. Then there's Allie. Allie is I'm gonna go one spot above, A tier. If we were just including season 2, she'd be an S tier. However, because of All Stars, I am going to deduct some points. I did like her for a lot of All Stars, but just like Ashley not being my favorite character anymore like she was, you're gonna get knocked down a couple points if one of your main things is with freaking Jake. So yeah, I mean, I really like gamers, obviously, but I have a gaming channel. You should subscribe to that. But her whole thing with the tattoo, and she has some funny jokes with like the nudes thing. Overall, just a good character in season 2, a great character in season 2, and in season 3, she was originally, when we got to the final 3, my winner pick. But after just rethinking it before watching the finale, I honestly didn't really. Obviously, I didn't want Jake to win, and Allie just felt like she didn't deserve it. So I actually wanted Rhea to win, and thankfully, we know how that turned out. But we'll get to Rhea. So Allie is still a great character, but I'm gonna have to put her in A tier. Both of these are subject to change, of course, because they'll be in season 5. Connor. Now, if we were just talking season 2 Connor, he'd be right here because I did not give a shit about him in season 2. But season 3 Connor, I know some people don't like him. I'm actually gonna put him above. Well, I don't know if I'll put him above. I'll put him above Allie for now. That might change later. I really like him. He's my favorite, I'd say, like, main support character. Who else would I even consider? Rosa Maria would be one of those. Richard would be one of those. Maybe Miriam? Probably not. I'd say Connor, it fits in that list, and he's probably one of my favorites of that list. It's not my favorite. I like his whole thing with Rhea, which I know, hot take, but I do like his thing with Rhea. And I like how he gets a happy ending. I like him a lot in All Stars in general, though. He was actually at the final 4, I think it was. He was my winner pick. But you'll notice that even though All Stars was a great season, in my opinion, all my winner picks kind of got taken out back to back to back to back to back, until we were left with Rhea and Jake. So, yeah. Then we have Hunter. I don't know why his face looks kind of weird on this photo, but Hunter is just, I mean, like, I guess it's just because I don't remember too much about him from season 2. But I'm gonna put him right here. He's kind of just, I wouldn't say he's like Zayd in regards as he's just Allie's boyfriend. He has a lot on his own. Even in season 3, he has his conflict with Fiore, and obviously him and Allie are going through some tough times. I really like him with Tess. We'll get more to Tess later. But I did like that friendship, or not really relationship, but there was that one time where all 3 of them were in bed, which was kind of crazy. So I think Hunter's a cool character. I like Hunter. I would like to see more of Hunter, just as a kind of straight man kind of guy. Then we have James, and James, hot take, is even more mid than Aiden. I don't really give a shit about James, like, at all. First thing is, I don't know if it's just the mic quality or if it's the voice actor. No disrespect, but I do not like James's voice. It's annoying. Like, it feels so much more low quality compared to the rest of the cast. Even in season 2, it felt really bad. It felt like his and Rosa's were kind of bad, but now Rosa sounds better, so I'm pretty sure they didn't change the voice actor, so I don't really know. But James, like, he has his influencer thing, but, you know, I've already seen Total Drama by the time I was watching this, so he kind of just felt like lesser Julia, toned down on both the good and the bad side, and it was just flip-flopped. Julia went from good to bad, he went from bad to good, and got with Aiden, which was an okay relationship. I don't really care. Then he comes back in All Stars to be the first boot, which, while I admit was shocking, I still wish it was Jake, bro. I wish it was Jake so bad. But yeah, that kind of let me down. Obviously, that wasn't entirely James's fault, but yeah, he's not bad by any means. If you're B, you're kind of just I'd say like B is anywhere from a 6.5 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10, to, which I don't consider bad, to a, actually no, it's probably a 7 out of 10. No, because I would consider you 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So like 6 to 8 out of 10, and this is kind of like 8 to 9, 8 and 9 out of 10, and then this is 10 out of 10. This is like 4 or 5 out of 10, and then this, like, I actually have to dislike you to put you in this tier. Kai. See, Kai, I'm actually going to put above James, which I know sounds criminal, but first of all, I like the fact, I like the fact that this character was so obviously high the entire time. It was really funny. His thing with Maggie was also funny, with them just living in the woods now. I know Kai probably doesn't have any, like, family members, but I want to know what happened to freaking Maggie's family. Maybe we do know that, and I just don't remember. But, yeah, that was kind of funny to me. And then obviously he had his thing with Yul during the literal worst challenge of all time ever, the Kiss-a-thon. That was fucking disgusting. I'm glad I think in the trailer it showed they're changing that challenge at least a little bit. But Kai standing up to Yul and punching Yul after finally snapping, and we'll get to Yul, alright, but Kai was definitely a good character there. I'm starting to look at these characters in B tier, and I'm actually going to move Hunter up a little bit. I feel like he's higher than that. Then we have Carol, and here's the thing about Carol. I care about Carol about the same as I care about Eva, because I voted, or I think about them both the same. I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think Carol made it too far. After coming back, and she didn't really make it that far. Actually, I kind of view her, like, she has the same, like, elimination pattern as, like, an Izzy, but the same kind of toned down version of Eva's personality, and I don't give a fuck about Eva, and Izzy's kind of cool, but it's not actually anything about Izzy besides her, like, Elam strats. But anyways, talking about Disventure Camp, the show we're talking about, what is happening on my phone? My phone is, like, freaking out. So I think someone's trying to video call me. I'll have to get back to that. Well, anyways, Carol, like, she has her animal thing as well, but it's like, I don't really care about Carol. Like, she's mid. Maybe the remake will make me change that. Same with Maggie. I don't care. I just don't care. It's like, she's, insecure, and she's, like, not conventionally attractive at all. And her voice is annoying, and that's her whole character. Oh, and Yul freaking torments her. I don't think much else meaningful happens besides her obviously being friends with Rosa, Lake, and at least for a time, Rhea. I think that's about it. So I don't really care about Maggie, like, at all. Then we have Oliver. And as a host, I respect Oliver. But as a contestant, we are only ranking him as a contestant. If it was host, I'd put him, like, here, maybe here. But I'll do a host tier list eventually as well. Actually, that's actually a really good idea. But when it's just this, you know what? There's no objectively bad characters. So just like last time, I'm changing this. You don't have to actually be a bad character. You just have to be, I genuinely have zero opinion. Oliver was there for a whole 5 seconds. I don't think I remember a single moment with Oliver in the game that helped his character at all. He was just there and then he wasn't. His stuff with Connor was good. I did like that. But I don't know if I should consider it that, because that whole little arc ends with him becoming not Rhea, Crystal's right-hand man. So yeah, I'd probably consider that more for the staff part of his character. So as a contestant, I gotta put him in D tier. I'm sorry. Then we have Rhea. Rhea would probably put Rhea in D, or most people would probably put Rhea in D tier, including most of the contestants. But I am actually not going to put, well, I'll put her in A tier. I was gonna put her in S tier, but I think there's only one S tier character on here, and it's not her. Rhea was really always a good character to me, about the same level as Connor. I really liked that whole dynamic. I think it's going to be written a lot better, which I already think it's written well in the original season 2. I think it's going to get written even better, so maybe she will move up to S tier. I hope a lot of these characters will move up, especially the pre-mergers, because I just struggle to care about a lot of the pre-mergers. But I think Rhea's whole villain arc was done pretty well in the base version. I felt like she kind of flipped a switch there, but like her thing with Rosa Maria was funny as well. I really liked that elimination, because he's just like, yeah, I did all that. And then in All Stars, I mean, I wasn't rooting for her at all, because I just thought there'd be no way. And then I was really sad watching the full finale play out, and I was like, damn, this was a really good season except Jake. And then it's like, yep, Jake's gonna win. And then she screams and knocks him off. And I kid you not, I audibly screamed in real life out of pure joy. I was so happy in that moment. I'm telling you right now, I have never in the history of Disventure Camp, Total Drama, Survivor, Big Brother, never once gotten this happy about someone getting eliminated, much less somebody winning. Okay, and I was so happy when Heather won World Tour, but Rhea winning All Stars was so fucking peak, and the message was good too. I love that so much that I'm still debating putting her in S tier. I'll do some changes at the end of the video, so we'll see if I do that. Then we have Rosa. Now, Rosa is definitely subject to change, because she's one of the 4 that is coming back, and I think unlike Aiden and Allie, she's going to have a bigger part. Now, here's the thing. My problem with Rosa isn't actually a problem with Rosa. It's the fact that I honestly don't really remember much that Rosa did. She had a teen pregnancy. She was a support character for Lake and Maggie, and had her friendship with Rhea, although it ended in her downfall. And that was about it. There's only one other like funny, memorable scene about Rosa, and I don't even think it was with Rosa there. It was with Yule. Again, we'll get to Yule. So because of that, I'm not gonna put her here, just because I don't remember enough about her. And once the remake comes out, she could be here. Honestly, she could be up here, probably here though. She'll probably be like here or here. But just right now, I gotta be honest with myself and put her right here. She kind of feels like a Richard type support character, where she's just there for everyone. She's obviously a lot better than Richard. I don't really like Richard. So I'll put her, yeah, right here. And then we have Tess. See, Tess, I think Tess is like Aiden in season 3, where they're there and then they're not, and I don't think they even really leave an impact. But I think she leaves even less of an impact. her whole thing was to help out Allie and Hunter, and that she wasn't on the same team as Allie and Hunter, so she just was there. She had a friendship with Ellie, then got voted out by Gabby. She understood. She got Lake freaking cooked because she just voted herself, which, I mean, Silly Billy made a video on 10 different things she could have done except doing that. So I think Tess was not that great in season 3. However, in season 2, I did really like her whole thing with Hunter, and then her whole arc in season 2, and I really hope it gets written a lot better, because I think it's going to, because season 2 just has not on par writing with the rest of the show, but I'm seeing the potential for Tess to be a lot higher, and this whole little Disventure Camp golden trio right here is all going to go in the middle to bottom of A tier, but I'm actually going to put her just above Hunter, but below Allie. I think Tess is a good character, and I like Tess. Also, them doing the thing with the pills, that was very dark and bold, and I liked that a lot. Then we come to our last two, literally like almost polar opposites of each other, but we have reached our S tier character. Yup, Yule is S tier, one of the best characters in Disventure Camp, the best character in season 2. I guess spoiler alert for Lake, but you know, whatever. Yule is not a good person. I do not endorse, I'm saying this right now, I do not endorse any of the shit he pulls. Whether it be with Gret, the comments about Rosa, the stuff in the beginning of season 3, but holy shit, is it hilarious. I was watching a alternate universe thing for Total Drama today, where this guy would do like all of the people that have merged in with Total Drama and Disventure Camp, and they would be like in a randomized cast. It was so peak, by the way. Y'all should go watch it. It's by a musical individual is the channel name. It's like freaking 7 hours long. He's still making stuff. It's actually peak, but still, freaking Yule has his whole, like, he has some racist remarks in that, and it's so funny. Oh, he also says he hopes Gwen doesn't, because Gwen's in the season and Yule's in the season, and he's mad at Gwen for being a downer and being emo. So he says that he hopes Gwen doesn't kill herself before we get to the merge, because he can't risk losing a number. And that's not even part of the show, but just that kind of humor is not for everybody, but offensive humor is the stuff that really gets me. I love offensive humor. So I'm gonna have to put him in S tier. He's hilarious. Now, I'm not saying I want him to win a season. He deserves anything. He's not a good person. I don't endorse anything he says, obviously. But I'm just saying it's funny. Like the one where he's like, this should be a job for those people. Where the fuck is Rosa? That was hilarious. And I think that was in, if I remember that correctly, I think that was in All-Stars, which Rosa doesn't even compete in. But that's what I was talking about with Rosa earlier. I did not mean to do that. And then we come to our last character, Lake. Lake got so shafted in All-Stars. It was actually shocking. So it makes absolute sense that she would come back for Fans versus Favorites. Yeah, I think because of Fans versus Favorites, she's probably going to boost up at least into my top 3, because I feel like she's going to be the main character and probably one of the most likely candidates to win right now. But I think without that, I'm still going to say she had a pretty solid arc and put it right here. In fact, I am moving Hunter back down. I don't know why I moved him up now that I think about it. Her arc about having her controlling parents, she's kind of the opposite of Priya, where they won't let her do anything instead of forcing her to do one big thing. I like how I really like characters who have physical design traits change to show how they've changed. So like with her, obviously I forgot what she has, but she's bald. And she gets her new wig that's red. I thought that was good. Rosa is a crutch character for her, so she makes Lake better. And I think Lake is a good character, and I think Lake will probably go higher up once we see this again. But that is going to conclude my Disventure Camp Gen 2 tier list. I think there is some pretty hot takes, especially with my top 5. I think my top 5 is extremely controversial, with number 5 being Tess, number 4 being Allie, number 3 being Connor, number 2 being Rhea, number 1 being Yule. I do not think that is freaking most people's lists. But I will be catching y'all in the next one where we'll be doing the hosts. So yeah, goodbye.